Yeah, we're back. I'm sorry, my people. I believe you can all see me right now. I don't know what the problem is with the app. I believe everything should be working perfectly okay right now. Everything should be all okay right now. Yeah, our guest is here. Uh-huh. Welcome, sir. It's better
Thank you.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay right now. I'm coming. Let me share it. Sir, you can share it in our WhatsApp groups if you have another device there.
Okay.
I can be sharing it there. My people, I welcome you. Welcome in a very special way. And I'm seeing you, my brother. Don't worry, guys. We are here right now, and hopefully everything will continue to proceed perfectly well. Yeah, welcome, guys. And some of you on the Jelly Speaks, I welcome you. Guys, we are on YouTube. We are on two platforms of Facebook. We are on the Jelly Speaks and on the Little Truth. Welcome, welcome. We'll begin in the next 1 minute. Mhm. Yeah, my people, I welcome you. Let's welcome our people before we start.
Is it this stream yard that they're going to use to watch to join us live?
Pardon?
You said I should share this stream for them to join us live.
No, not that one. You shouldn't share that one. Let me give you the one you should share. Hold on. Not the this thing. And some people are already in the studio. Please, those of you in the studio, it's a mistake. So let me send you this one. See the one you share in the WhatsApp groups. I just sent it right now. I don't know if you see, but let me share
Okay,
it
I've seen it.
on Nilo. Let me share it on every Nilo account. Mhm. Yeah, my people, I salute you. I've shared it there. Those of you in the studio, please, it's a mistake. Pardon us. Yeah, well done, my people. We must do this program. Emeka Oja, I see you. Emmanuel. Emmanuel Chukwuka. Nwanne ọkwa mụ na gị na-azụ ofu afa ka anyị na-azụ nwanne. Cyprian Kparakụ, greeting Dr. Paul. Yeah, Udamaka Destiny. Clark. Henry Chimezie on Facebook. Emeka Oje. Saving goals are no more active. No, the shame don't they catch them now. They are beginning to understand what's going on. They are beginning to get the message. Obachagoya Obuna na Aruna. How are you? Obachago everybody na Aruna. So my people, I greet you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for a wonderful time you have given unto us. Oh, thanks there. Thanks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Divine, I greet you all. If I again, I'm on salam. Uh-huh. My people, welcome to this evening's broadcast. With me today is our guest. Sir, is there any other device on there?
No.
Okay, so we're about to start now. My people, welcome once again. With me this evening is our brother, Dr. Paul Okoye. He's the President General of Nero Worldwide. So I will let him introduce himself officially for those who like formally. For the sake of those who have not listened to him on this platform, this is not the first time he has been on the platform. He should have been here long before now, more than like 4 or 5 times, but because of my engagement and so many things I'm doing, he himself is a busy man, shuttling between Nigeria and Europe to make sure our place is a better place. People that are devoting their time, energy, and resources to make sure our place is fine. Without much ado, my brother, I greet you. Good evening, Dr. Paul. Please introduce yourself to our guests who may not know you.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. My name is Dr. Paul Okoye, the President General of Indigo Royal Heritage Worldwide, Worldwide. I'm a political analyst, I'm an author, I'm a political observer and economist. I write, I'm the author of How Safe is Our Investment. But this night, let's concentrate and get into the business of the day. I think somehow, by His grace, I'm constant on this program. So most of you who do not know me can just Google my name on Google or any other page, and you can follow. I advise you to join the Royal Heritage. It's Igbo consciousness trying to reposition the Igbo nation for a new Igbo nation. We try to evolve a mechanism, a state, evolve a region that will be befitting, that will be prosperous and then rewarding to the succeeding generation. So I enjoin all of us to join the Igbo Heritage, to put our hands together to build a new Igbo nation that will be worthy of emulation, and any Igbo nation that we can be proud to live for the children coming after us. Thank you, my good friend Jerry. Thank you for giving me another opportunity to come on this program. Thank you again.
You are welcome, you're welcome, sir. Please, for those of them that don't know what Ndibo Royal Heritage does, is it a part of the group that is calling for secession? Because when people hear about a new political change in the Southeast, they tend to tilt towards the people that are calling for the breakup of Nigeria, namely the idiotic people of Biafra, IPOB, and MASOB, or then the other splinter groups. Is there any difference between your own association and all these ones before we get into this topic?
Ndibo Royal Heritage is not even talking about secession. We are not in the blame game. Ndibo Royal Heritage is not in the blame game. We have a very clear position and a very clear mandate. Our clear mandate is to rebuild, refocus the Igbo nation in the Nigerian nation, because you see, no one nation can do it alone, and we have to. It's time for us to accept that our destiny is tied together. I've discussed this matter constantly. I flagged off the discussion on the 11th of November 2019 at Enugu. We called an international press conference, and I made it emphatically clear that the problem of Igbo nation is not Hausa and Yoruba, and I consider it. I find it so stupid for a people of about 20% of the population of Nigeria to blame a population of less than 5% for their cows. How do we sustain the fact that the minority is marginalizing the majority? You see, what we are afraid to accept is that politics is a game of number. Another point we have failed to accept is that power is not free. Freedom is not free. It has to be fought for and conquered by the interested people. I think the mistake of our generation, or the mistake of our people, is believing that you see, there's a full pot of rice that you can always go and feed from. Unfortunately, there's no free meal anywhere on earth. Freedom is not free. It's not free. So when we continue to talk about this decision, considering the price we have paid, You see, because part of the things I had wanted to address this evening is there are a few issues that I wanted to, before I go to the full project of this evening. But having to address this matter to start with it, I've said, and I want to repeat, this problem has only brought chaos. I've spoken to some of the most prominent Igbos. Now, I want us to accept that Igbos are a major block in the Nigerian project. Now, we have 13 million Igbos living in the north, 13 million. We have 7 million Igbos living in the southwest, in Lagos precisely. Now, if we have 17 million, about 13 million and the 7 million, let's have 20 million Igbos living in Lagos and the north. Now, how do we explain the fact that we are living in a glass house and we are the people throwing stones? Now, do we realize that some of the Igbos living in the north does not have a house in the southeast? How do we explain the fact that we continue to cry for marginalization? Because if I want to decode this aspect, we will not go into the other project, but let me say a few things. Now, when we came back from the war, incidentally, I have discussed the issue of the war and I don't want to go into it again because I've discussed the war. I said it was a fatal error, and there was an argument I raised a few days. Nobody has given me any plan for that because I've asked a very simple question. That question is, could somebody tell me what we have gained from the agitation? Could somebody tell me what Ojukwu, what infrastructure? I call names whenever I speak because first, I'm not a politician. Ndi is not a political project. We're not involved in politics. Yesterday, today, I would have been involved in politics. So I have no problem telling you things as they are because I'm not going to come to ask you for vote tomorrow. Now, ask a question and I want to say it emphatically. Now, can somebody, for once, tell me what we have gained from the agitation? What we get is that we lost 3 million Igbos. Wozliki came, brought his agitation. We lost more than 500,000 Igbos. Now, Emperor came with his agitation, plus the other guy that is from Cross River, I mean, Samuel Ekpa, that one is not even an Igbo man. Now, the only thing we have lost in this agitation is death upon death, losing the youth, those that could have been alive to develop the Igbo nation. Now, I ask a question. I know most of you will be very angry when I ask it. I want somebody to tell me what Ojukwu, one infrastructure, one good thing Ojukwu did for the Igbo nation. I want somebody to ask me this question and answer me objectively. Eschew sentiment. Forget about me, you. One question, one, not two. If you want to ask me what Zig did for the Southeast, I will tell you. I can count numerous, I can count uncountable projects, starting from the Niger Bridge to the Mameke to the UNN and Sika. I can count the project of Zig in the Southwest. I can count University of Lagos. I can tell you a million of this. But I want somebody to tell me one, for once, what we have gained, one good thing, one infrastructure, one thing that touched the life of the Igbos that Ojukwu brought to the study. Now, because you asked me this question, let me discuss a few things now. Now, because you know, when I castigated, when I criticized Bianca and Ebele for fighting in the street, because I said they are both street fighters, because I cannot comprehend, I cannot imagine two housewives fighting in the public. Now, the last time I checked, the women in the Igbo history and Igbo tradition has their position, and that position in the Igbo nation does not comprise usurping authority over men. Now, what is the problem between Bianca and Ebele? Because this is what people don't want to take into consideration. Some are castigating Ebele, some are castigating Bianca, but the question is, why were they quarreling? What is the cause of their fight? Now, the cause of their fight is that first, when the son of Ojukwu wanted to join politics, Willie Obiano stopped him because Willie didn't want to have somebody to compete with him. Because all of you know that Apuga, you see, I don't want to digress, but let me say this too. There's nothing like the regional party. The regional party does not exist anywhere. Apuga is not a regional party. Apuga is the private business of Willie Obiano and the Victoria. Because the last time I checked, even the House of Assembly members, they're paying 25 million. If you want a Senate ticket in the Apuga, you pay 100 million for a takeoff. So when we discuss these issues, starting from Ojukwu himself, now Ojukwu fought a war. Now, in the course of that war, after 3 million Igbos have died, he ran away. The last time I checked, soldiers don't run away because Peter has done when I done quick. Saddam Hussein did not run away. Muammar Gaddafi did not run away. Nelson Mandela did not run away. King Sarawat did not run away. Willie Shankar did not run away. Daniel Foemi did not run away. Abu Lochan did not run away. Daniel Lochan did not run away. I can count billion. The president of Sada of Syria did not run away. So I can go on and on and on and on and on. But Ojukwu ran away. Now, incidentally, when Shoboka brought Ojukwu back to Nigeria, Ojukwu wanted to succeed. Ojukwu joined MPN. Now, the same Nigeria you had wanted to secede, the same Nigeria you had wanted to divide, the same Nigeria that was marginalized Igbo, the same Nigeria that were killing Igbos that you declared the war, you joined them. You said you let the Igbos out of the central government, you are the person that you lead them back. Who said that? A lot of people told him not to fight the war. He insisted on fighting the war. I spoke with him, Mbazulika Amechi, one-on-one. Mbazulika Amechi told me that they told him not to fight the war. He put all of them in prison. People like him, Mbazulika Amechi, was secluded. 1 kilometer diameter from his house, he cannot. Vic was in his house, 10 kilometer diameter. He cannot move outside that. Mbadiwo was in prison in Calabar. All the people that opposed the war, he, one way or the other, secluded them from the public. They had no authority or power to meet the public. So he fought the war. Now, when he ran away and he came back, I cannot, because my question is, where is the consistency? The same Nigeria you wanted to defend, the same Nigeria that are persecuting the war, you now joined them and contested for Senate and wanted to become Senate president. Now, incidentally, when you lost, because Igbo somehow became a little bit, because you know we are very sentimental people, but somehow at that time they were a bit maybe reasonable, or maybe because of the influence of Zik, but he lost and only won. Now, when he lost that election, he started mobilizing to contest for presidency, and when he failed that he wasn't able to get to the presidency, he came back home and formed a regional party. Obu Achime election. Now, you see, because you made me to start the discussion, because there are a few other things that I wanted to say that make me to say at this initial time. One of the things that made me not to trust Soludo until he took very decisive steps that I have turned to support Soludo, and we will do everything to see that Soludo succeeds, is that Soludo was brought into power by a very corrupt system. Willie gave every person that voted 10,000 naira. Nobody voted for free. It's the same Agboro that brought Peter Obi to government, brought Willie Obiano to government. But let me do this aspect because I come back to that part. Now look at it now. If you want to believe it, if you want to get the point clearly. Now all along, the Igbo nation has been the catch cow for these people. Now, what happened? Bianca was an ambassador. Bianca was not ambassador because she was qualified. She was an ambassador. That was the Anambra State slot. The Anambra State slot was given to Bianca, and Bianca wanted to spend and stay for America. So it is my slot. It is your slot. It is slot of every Anambra NDC. So Bianca is supposed to be, if there's anybody that should be grateful, it's Bianca that should be grateful to Anambra people, not Anambra being grateful to her, because the Anambra State slot that made her the ambassador. Now, when after the ambassador post, Willie Obiano gave him a position, which is the position of a special advisor in the government of Willie Obiano, but Ebe did not want her. Ebe did not want Bianca in that government. So what did Ebe do? Ebe picked a call and called Bianca and told Bianca that she does not want her in that government. And Bianca said that she needed that money to take care of her children. Ebe started mocking her. Is it not the same government you said you don't want to belong? So Ebele schemed Bianca out of that and made Bianca to resign, to drop that post of special advisor, because people may not understand where the problem is coming from. So this is the core problem between Bianca and Ebele, because Ebele schemed Bianca out of his husband's government. They did not allow Bianca any position. But being that as it may, why I don't side A, I don't side B, of all the things that Bianca and their family have gotten, because you see, The APGA is the cash cow of these people. Now, has Bianca even opened a backbone water in Nnewi? No. Has she ever done anything to touch the life of the people that have sustained her, to touch the life of the people that use their position, to touch the life of the people that made her an ambassador? The answer is no. The answer is no. She has been part and parcel of what the government has sustained in Anambra State. Did she do anything? Has she been grateful? The answer is no. So the problem we have is that it's all about money. That is why I'm not on the side of Bianca. I'm not on the side of Ebele, because Ebele herself is a mad dog. Look at Ebele trying to Willie. They asked Willie to go for Senate. Willie said he's not going for Senate. Ebele, the wife, Ebele said, look at Ebele aspiring to become a senator. Bianca has aspired to be a senator. Why the overzealousness? Why the ambition? Must it be Obiano and Ojukwu? I mean, what have they done to merit the exclusive reserve or to merit the privilege treatment that has been given to them? Have they in any form, in any way, been generous to those people that have sustained them? Have they in any way, in any form, given 0.0001% back to the Igbo people? The answer is no. If Ojukwu come, listen, I'm sorry to say these things, because like you know, I'm sitting on the seat that Ojukwu sat, because Ojukwu formed in the Igbo Royal Heritage worldwide. I didn't form this movement, Ojukwu formed it. And this was formed in the propagation of unification of Igbo people. So, but it does not stop me from saying the truth. I want anybody to go and verify anything I'm telling you, anything I've told you today. If you invite Ojukwu to any occasion, I will not give you one cup, because he will tell you that his position, the fact that he's there is already enough. So the point I'm trying to make is that, first, to answer clearly the question that was asked, Nero is not in the blame game. Our problem, the problem of the Igbo nation is not Hausa, is not Benin, it's not Yoruba. Igbos are the cause of their problem themselves. Our overzealousness, our greed, that's part of our problem. We live a sentimental life. We cannot sit down to analyze critical what the problems around us are. Some people are clapping hands for Willie Obiano for raping Anambra State. For raping Anambra State.
Let's come into that one, because that's the elephant in the room that we want to address. Thank you so far for the things you've said. A lot of people are learning so many things that, like the behind the curtain happenings of government that people don't tend to understand, because ordinary people, they don't have time to follow up these things. They just want to balance their checkbooks, take care of their children, feed their families, and that's all. But they don't know that these are actually the reason. This is one of, men like Willie Obiano is one of the reasons their children don't have access to good education, access to hospital, like healthcare, everything. So please, the 8 years of Willie Obiano has come and gone. Before now, if we were to criticize him, they will be telling us, let him finish his tenure. Right now, I believe his tenure has elapsed constitutionally. He will never be the governor of Anambra State for the rest of his life, unless the existing order is obliterated and the political system recalibrated. Other than that, he will never be a governor of Anambra State again. So 8 years of billions of naira in federal allocation alone. We are not going to talk about internally generated revenue and all that. Please, in your own words, can you just crystallize your analysis of Willie Obiano's 8 years in office? The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. You see, in my own opinion, Willie should not go to prison, because you see, going to prison is a kind of trying to rehabilitate somebody and bring him back to the social or the body politic or to the populace. But people like Willie, effort should be made to see that they does not come back to human rights. People like him should be ostracized. People should be exchanged from the human race, because you see,
they should be euthanized.
You see, now let's get this point straight. You know, because sometimes When I say these things, people have nothing against anybody. When I started talking about Emperor 2019, people were calling me privately. Why did I discuss the issue of Bianca? Because people call me privately. Why am I castigating Bianca? And it's okay. I'll tell you publicly why I castigate Bianca. Let everybody go and investigate. Before I tell you, I crystallize the government of Willie Obiano, let us accept one fact. Willie is an opportunist. You know why Peter brought Willie into power? He brought Willie into power because he was looking for somebody. Now, let me say another thing. You know that nobody has ever probed any government in the Southeast. Nobody has ever asked anybody, how did you govern? So, Peter was not looking for somebody to govern Anambra State. Peter was looking for somebody to cover the evil, to cover his government. Because nobody has ever told me why Peter will be governed Anambra State for 8 years, did not organize local government election. This is one of the reasons why we are supporting Soludo, because he has officially and formally declared that he's going to organize local government election. Now, Peter brought in Willie because of the fact that he wanted somebody, a continuation of his that 10. He didn't bring in Willie because he wanted Anambra State he wanted to give us autonomy or bring somebody, because there are so many decent minds, there are so many academics, there are so many bureaucrats that Peter could have brought into power. Now, when Willie Obiano came into power, if you remember, you know, APC somehow helped Willie to come into power, because when the people from the Anambra or Southeast Obiano, they forget that Buhari was instrumental to even the second coming of Obiano, because after the first time, everybody knows that Willie was a rat-off. Every Anambra has lost hope and interest in Willie Obiano, because we already know that Willie is a drunkard. You know, what happens is that he went around, share money, sold Anambra State, because the church is involved. I'm not cutting it because I come to in a more detailed form. Now, the Agboro brought Peter Obi into power. Peter used Agboro to govern Anambra State. Now, the same Agboro brought Willie Obiano, because the same Agboro that Peter used to bring Willie Obiano, so he handed over Agboro to Willie Obiano. That is why at a point, there is no police in Anambra State. And I want you to know that even ESN is the same Agboro. So it is the pirate bed in the pirate ship in the pirate water. So this is some of the greatest, the most fundamental problem we have in Anambra State. This dynasty of Agboro, this dynasty of church. The people that decided to bring these people into power is this group of people. The other elements that help is the Catholic Church. This is my problem with the Catholic Church. And this is where I'm going to come to the letter. I want you to remember for me when I'm going to discuss this after, even if I forgot. Because I want to discuss the issue of Ebube more that is telling the whole world. Because nobody knows why. Nobody knows why Ebube was crying that if Willie had been APC, he will not. They will not arrest him, because I'm going to discuss that. I want to discuss it because you see, we mix up a lot of stuff. So remember, if I forget that aspect of it, please, in the concluding part of it. Now, what happened in Anambra State when Willie came into power? Everywhere in Anambra State, Willie is working. Willie is working. And what do Willie usually do? I want everyone to go and investigate. Willie will start a route. Let me take Okozomunya Road. When he starts that road, he will do 1 kilometer, take money, put in his pocket, and he's there. Willie has never started any road and concluded any road. Willie at a point told that I bring CCTV surveillance for security in Anambra State. We saw a one tall tower, but we never see any pole, but we never see anything again. At the point, Willie told us that he has brought horses to help in the security of Anambra State. The horses are there, whether they were bought, nobody knows about that. Now, look at it. At the point, Willie told us he's going to go into Anambra State Export, he's going to do the shoe factory, and Anambra State will start wearing their own shoes. I'm talking about these are humongous projects that engulf billions of dollars. And all these projects that I named, you can go and look at Willie record. None of these projects is officially or formally existing anywhere. There were means and ways for Willie to siphon money from Anambra State. Now look at it. As I said earlier, Peter Obi governed Anambra State for 8 years. He did not organize a local government election. When Peter Obi was about to go, he now realized that he's supposed to organize local government election, and he fixed local government election in Willie's tenure. Now, when Willie came in, Willie scrapped the local government election. So Willie governed his 8 years without organizing local government election. Now, guess what? The problem the Igbo side is the Buhari. But this Buhari was sending local government allocation on a monthly basis. Nobody has ever asked Willie what happened to this local government allocation. Because before we start talking about the security fund, there are fundamental, there are issues, there are core issues that we look at that came and did not go anywhere, like the local government allocation that received for 8 years, where there's no local government chairman, there are only administrators. When the money comes in, we give them 5 million, the rest goes into his pocket. What did Willie do with 5 local government allocation? Now, Peter Obi, as bad as he may be, left $75 billion naira cash. Now, for people who are saying Peter Obi is this, Peter Obi has said insistently while Willie was a governor that he left 75 billion. Why did they not go to ask? Why did they not ask Peter Obi, is it true or false? Now that Willie is in prison, they say Peter Obi is lying. But Peter Obi has insistently said that he left 75 billion in Anambra State coffers, while Willie stayed 8 years. Nobody contested that fact. Now that Willie is in prison, they say it's invested. No, Peter Obi left 75 billion. He gave us facts of how he left that 75 billion. And until somebody has not officially disputed that, Willie inherited 75 billion. And Peter told us that he inherited 12 billion from Ngige. Do you see that now? Now, nobody has told us what happened to the 75 billion. Because people should know why I'm against Willie Obiano. People should know why I said that Willie should be ostracized, that his family, his generation should be ostracized from Igbo nation. That Willie is not worthy to live. That's what I'm saying. Because if you have mortgaged, if you have destroyed the future of a race, Willie destroyed the future of a race, the future of Anambra race, their future is absolutely extinct by the activities of Willie Obiano. Now, I will come back to that, but let me finish this aspect of it. Now, Willie borrowed 200 billion. And what did Willie do with 200 billion? Now, Anambra State, the money in Anambra State is enough to take care of the whole of Nigeria. Anambra should be competing with something like Abuja or Lagos, because there's so much money in that state. But go to Oka. Oka is like a desert, it's a deserted home. There's no third road in Oka. I say the road to State House is not third. Go to Onitsha. Onitsha can be likened to a psychiatric home. There's no normal human being that will live in Onitsha. That's part of the things I have going for Soludo, because it's going to Okpoko. Now, will he live and sustain Agboro in Onitsha? Will he live and sustain ESN? Because these are facts that are on the street for us to see. I don't know why people are blindfolded to this fact. Now, when you ask Anambra man, he will say, will he left airport for us? My friend, did you become governor? Did you have to borrow 200 million to build a house? Because airport is an empty house. Airport is a house. Airport is not capital intensive. It is more capital intensive to build a road than to build an airport. The two things that we left in Anambra State is airport.
Airport that the wind blew, airports that the very first wind blew away. Is that not the airport they said gulped up $2.2 billion? That's it. Is that not the same airport?
That's the airport. I remember this airport was even built by a foreign company to manage and hand over. This one we have now. So it's not even Willie Obiano's money. Anambra State is there in there. Now, the only other reason that Willie built is the conference center. But the point I'm talking about, these are houses. I will show that we will be discussing somebody that inherited 75 billion, somebody that borrowed 200 billion, somebody that had revenue in Anambra State for 8 years, that what is leaving behind is airport. What is leaving behind is a conference center. These are houses. I think anybody wants. become a governor to build a house in your place. I don't think you became a governor. I don't think you borrowed money. So the point I'm trying to make is that in Anambra State as a state, which Willie inherited, because it was much better than when Obiano. Because of his craftiness, try to put it to the extent he did. So before we start talking about the security vote, because EFCC arrested Willie because of that 7 billion security vote. They incidentally saw he withdrew 4 million, he withdrew another 4 million, and there was no accountability for that. Now, before we start talking about power trade, because discussing the magnanimity of the money that will siphon from Anambra State, I mean, that 7 billion becomes a child's play. Now, the governor of Anambra State, Charles Chukwemeka Soludo, has said that he met a debt of 109 billion naira debt.
And 300 million in cash.
Now, somebody that made a surplus of 75 billion is not living even a clean slate.
1 minute, please. 1 minute, please. 75 billion naira of 2013. When you factor in inflation, we are talking about not less than 320 billion of today. Yeah. In today's money, we are talking about over a quarter of a trillion that someone was left with, and he left only 300, not even 1 billion naira. Anambrians, I don't understand how you people will be looking with kindness those that try to defend this man. I don't know if you understand that your state was literally raped by this man. I always concern myself with what's happening in Anambra State, because if you check the entire states in the southeast, I spent most of my life in Anambra than any other state. I was born in Onitsha Menax Hospital. I stayed in Anambra for the most of my life so far, and it concerns me. This is the street where I grew up. There are many people I wouldn't have met. There are things I wouldn't have known if I was in my own home state. Anambra State was a boiling point. You had so many people, civil servants from the southwest, from the north, everybody congregating, mixing up culture, learning things from people, exchanging contacts, doing businesses. Before you know it, someone in your street will start going to the north, bringing all this food stuff, courtesy of just a northerner living near him or he met. Before you know it, business will start springing up from everywhere. But that was when we have a semi-functional system. Isn't it a shame that Anambra State, the best years of Anambra State were when it was under a military dictatorship? Rufai Garba remains the best administrator, the best governor of Anambra State. So it's very painful. I just want us to understand the amount of money we are talking about right here. Carry on, sir.
Thank you. Just as you have rightly emphasized, now it bothers me when the person from Anambra State is now telling me that Willie is being victimized, that we're working with it. Because you see, part of the thing that happens in not only Anambra State now, but South is that when somebody becomes a governor, everywhere you go, you see posters. We go to the point of Willie sharing 20 million to all the towns through their PG every month. So when you look at the way Willie manage Anambra State, now, do you understand that Willie has a farm? Now, I want to tell you this story because you will not see this in the television, you will not see it anywhere. Now, Willie is not from Aguilera, because people think Willie is from Aguilera. Willie is not from Aguilera. Willie is from Ibadan. You see, his father migrated to Aguilera. They had a problem or something like that, and he left his time in Ibadan and migrated to Aguilera. And he lived in Aguilera all the days of his life. When his father died, he remained in Aguilera. Now, when he became governor, he realized that he's from Ibadan. Now, there's a land that has been in contact between the opposed people and the Barian people. Now, at a point, this is a land that opposed people, their king somehow, someday, a very long time ago, for some reasons known to him or to the people that live those times, handed over this land to Iwarian people to farm as a farmland. But they took an oath that they will never sell that part of the land. And the land remained, that's the Iwarian. Now, what happened? When Willie IX came in, you remember that it's truly from Iwarian, and they now built the Anambra State University at Iwarian, and they named it Iwarian, because I'm now telling you a problem that's going to blow open in a very short while. Probably the people of Focus and people of Ibadan may go into a war in the shortest possible time, because the land there you build university, I call Ibadan, it's a land that belongs to Focus people. Now, Willie Obiano took part of that land, which is Focus people's land, and build his own farm. When Obasanjo wanted to build his own other farm, he paid people compensation, he bought a land. But Willie now want to have his own farm. Willie went and took a land that is not his, a land that belongs to Okuso people, and convert it to his land, can use it to start building farm. Because very soon, Okuso people are going to invade the land to take back what belongs to them. Because we never paid anybody any compensation. Good and fine, he is no longer a governor. Good and fine, he no longer has immunity. So if he wants war, he wants trouble, he should come and play with Okuso people, because there's no point, there's no reason why anybody should allow him to take his land for his private business. This is not even the business of Anambra State. It's a private business of Willie Obiano that he has converted the land that belongs to a town to use. So you see, when we go into the atrocities, the evil that Willie perpetrated in Anambra State, the allegiance, there's no single road. I can name them. I'm giving you one. The one of Focus Ammonia, the one of Fubapo. There's another one in Abagan, linking Abagan and Fubapo. Now, all these roads are roads that Willie will start. If you go to the beginning of that road, Willie is walking. Willie is walking. And when you trek that road after a kilometer, the road ends. He never finishes them. He left another one at Iruaika. He never finishes these roads. And the money is taking him full, because these are money. Because when I say we have to wake up from our sleepless slumbers, Bob Marley said, we have to get this knot out of our head. There's no party that is Anambra State party. No party is Igbo party. And it's even better to talk about national party than talk about these private parties that are private, somebody's private business. Because Africa is not any private party. And the part of this money is money that is being used to finance Africa. Because Africa is the private business of Willie Obiano. All of us know this. If Willie does not give you ticket, you don't have ticket in Africa. If Willie does not approve you cannot go. Now, why did I say that we have a duty today to support Soludo? There are a few things that Soludo did, which is a generational shift from the Willie Obiano, from the chaos he inherited in Anambra State. What are a few things Willie Obiano, Professor Charles has done? Now, the first day that Charles became the governor of Anambra State, he went to Onitsha. One of the greatest trouble he had is Opi Weka. Agboro in Opi Weka are lost. Under Willie Obiano, how many people did Agboro kill at Onitsha and nobody said anything? How many people? Willie perpetrated Agboro. They can kill anybody and get away with it. If you arrest them 2 minutes, they are back to main market, menacing people. Opi Weka is the floor of Agboro. So I congratulate Soludo for taking that bold step. Because like I said, it's the same corruption that brought him into power. But there was something he said at the handover ceremony that made him to start having soft feelings for him. What was the first thing he said? He said that when he wanted to contest for election 2013, that Willie came to him and pleaded with him not to contest. That in his going, he would try to do everything possible for him to succeed. So there was an agreement that was in part. So if it is Willie paying him back for not scuttling his vote 2003, for me, it's a very welcome message. And somehow, Charles is proving that even if it was Willie that sponsored his election, that he is not going to play that same gallery, because he went publicly and declared that he met only 330 million naira cash and a debt of 110 billion naira. death. So for him to have taken that bold step, he merits my support, he merits my congress, he merits anything I can do as somebody from that eastern part of the Niger to support his government. What are other things that Charles have done? Charles has gone to dismantle Diaboro that started from P2B, because P2B started Diaboro, handed it over to Willie Obiano. He has gone to Opiweka. Aboro are no longer there. Officially and formally, there's an executive order. There's an executive order by Charles Soludo formally proclaiming that people should go to their work on Monday. Now, Charles here is thinking as an economist. I want us to exchange sentiment, because I had that boy. You know that man is not an Igbo man. What do you call it, Simon?
That's animal, Simon. I'm here. What minutes, please? I'm here. I saw a post he made. The idiot said was threatening a sitting governor with violence, that he will unleash violence in Anambra State. And I am going to use this one to see whether Soludo is a cowboy or has no cows. Now, if they do anything, I will see whether he would let the army do their job. Because if you want people to go out and do their businesses, you should start from Sunday evening, Sunday night, especially Sunday midnight till 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Make sure that there are military checkpoints and strategic places. That's when they normally go to unleash their violence, which they will now share on Facebook. As people are waking up on Monday, maybe from 5 p.m., 5 a.m., 5:30, you will be seeing videos of where they attack people, kill them. Without no one will go outside. But if he would mobilize the Onitsha cantonment, the cantonment in Onitsha, mobilize CPHN and his boys, mobilize GSS, Anambra Command, then strategic places from Lilu or Sumohu to Nnewi South, from there to Nobi, from there to Agukuri, all those places, cage them, and if possible, liaise with Imo State. Let there be a combined operation, simultaneous operation. As we are pursuing them from Imo State, they will be running into Anambra State. Then the police, the forces will be there waiting to neutralize anything that moves. That's the only way this will be solved. Please carry on.
To that, I want to add something. You know, there's something Abacha said. Abacha said that any insurgent that lasts more than 48 hours, the government is part of it. Now, you see, there has been this trouble in Anambra State because Willie Obiano, you know, when you get committed, I mean, you lack the moral justification to stand as a man, to stand bold and fight a battle. You know, Willie is complicated in this matter. So Willie couldn't have been able to fight any war because Willie is not out of this trouble.
I think
Willie's part and parcel. Because Agwara are the people that are governing Anambra State. So now, he couldn't have been able to do anything. But we have to thank God, because when there is an executive order, it means an executive order. Soludo did not say, he has given an executive order. And the executive order gives automatic power. It authorizes the police, it authorizes HM, it authorizes the soldier, it authorizes all the law enforcement agents to swing into action as the chief law officer of the state. So these are the few good things that Soludo has done. When Soludo signed this executive order, I believe, or I am compelled to accept that he's truly out to turn Anambra State. Because you see, during his inauguration ceremony, he made it abundantly clear that Anambra State loses above 19 billion every Monday for this at home. And if you truly want to get Anambra State economy right, he cannot get Anambra State economy right under a state of insecurity, under a state where people cannot move around, or a state of anarchy, under a state where faceless people determines who lives and who dies. Because in Anambra State, these faceless people determines who lives and who dies. So because he's out to restore law and order in Anambra State, he deserves the support, respect, and support of every responsible person in Anambra State. What are a few other things that Charles has done? He has given also an executive order. No, you know what is happening in Anambra State? All these boys, they now turn to judges, they now turn to lawyers, they can come and arrest you. If you have land matter, they come and pick you up. Oh God. I don't know how to explain this because you know, people see for John at time. My friend. I have a friend of mine. They wanted to organize a funeral ceremony. In the evening, these boys entered. They carried everybody.
Yes.
You go and buy them. You go there, you pay. You see, so you see, and the other one happened a few days ago. One of my friends, a commissioner, wanted to go home because they were organizing a funeral. A few days to that, they came and carried the head of that family and 3 other people. And then you have to go and pay. So Soludo has given officially an executive order. No type of levy should be man or woman. So that he has given this executive order gives me encouragement because these are the right things to do. Now, what are other things that Charles has done? Charles went to Oko immediately after his installation. For Charles to go to that squalor means that he's
promised.
As he promised, you see that. So these are the few things he has done. So as I said today, Charles received my blessing. I'm ready to support him. We're ready to do anything because there's a generational shift. All the evil that Willie perpetrated in Anambra State, all the evil that Willie, he is trying to dismantle them. Now look at it. I've already said I cannot comprehend Willie having a street named after him in Anambra State. Do you know that the Anambra State Airport is now being named after Willie Obiano? Somebody who
I don't blame him. Huh? No, listen. For him, naming the airport after him, I have no problem with it. My problem is telling me that you built this airport with how much, and the Anambra State government will now have to pay $2.2 billion through their nose. Naming it after him, I am for anybody that builds a project. If you want to name it after yourself, that is your business. I have zero problem with it. And all these things, we made mention of this Okpoko. You cannot solve the issue of insecurity in Onitsha without addressing the issue of Okpoko. You see all of these people, all of these Agberos, you are seeing National Union, NATO, or whatever. You may pull randomly 500 policemen in Anambra State right now. I mean, people serving within Onitsha, Waliwo, Odapu, Fege, Okpoko, Obosi, Awada, Ugwagba, Mpo, Ogidi, all these places, and they will not even name you the top 3 people that are orchestrating this problem. Go to Okpoko right now, drag 50,000 naira around somebody, and you will have the names of all these people, because all those guys are going there to recruit people that are using to ferment trouble. And for Professor Chukwumacha Soludo to have gone there as he promised, like I said, I don't trust any politician, but I'm not going to criticize anyone who has not given me any reason to criticize him. And if I see anyone doing something good, whether I like the person's political party, it's not of any value. It doesn't matter. I don't care. If I have never wished any governor failure, be it a governor from the southeast, the southwest, the south-south, the northeast, the northwest, the north central. I've never wished any governor bad, because no governor fails downwards. Every governor fail, all of them, they fail upwards. What do I mean? Their failure means they did not work with the money They refused and they banked all that money. So when they are failing, the states are the ones failing, not these governors. So I am not going to wish Charles Soludo failure, because I have family there, I have friends there, I have so many people, and I have some business interests that relies on the stability of the Southeast to prosper. So I wish him all the best. So carry on, my brother.
I wish him the best as you do. Like I said, I'm ready to do anything to support his government. But there's something I want to correct here, my friend. You see, I have a problem with somebody naming a project after himself. Now, you see, in Europe, only very few people, I've never seen a sitting president having a street named after him in Europe. Now, when you go to Europe, it's all those people that live years. Like in Nigeria, we have the Merit Award to recognize the legacy the kings have done. These are the people. Now, like we name international airport in Abuja after Nnamdi Azikiwe. I mean, if you ask me why, we are naming him because it's something that is worth emulating. I'm trying to tell the people, Nnamdi Azikiwe lived a good life. I named Murtala Mohammed Airport at Lagos after Murtala Ramat Mohammed because I'm trying to tell the people, look at Murtala Ramat Mohammed. He lived a good life. Emulate him. Do what he did. Willie Obiano. So I want you to remember one thing. There are a few things that people consciously and unconsciously do. We are very sentimental people. That is why we have all the problems we are having. But there are a few things we did correctly. It's not that everything we do is bad. Now, do you know that there's nobody in Aniba that answers me Fatu? I don't hear that name again. That name seems to be extinct in our lexicon. I've never seen anybody answering Obabiaska. You see, these names, because of the evil they perpetrated. And I want to tell you that we may not see somebody answering a few names like Obiano or Willie in a few times. So when you go and
Nnamdi Kanu.
When you see these names or naming a project after somebody, you are trying to leave a legacy. You are trying to leave a name. You are trying to leave a record. You are trying to say this person lived a good life. This person is what being named. This is what I have against people like Willie Obiano being named Willie Obiano being chosen for
on that, please hold on that, please don't forget what you are saying. I heard that one of the mansions seized from Willie Obiano was built on a street named after his own son.
Yeah.
In Ota. How true is that?
But I said it earlier. Maybe you were not attentive.
No, I didn't hear. Go ahead, please.
The mansion is in an estate. I forgot the name of the estate. If you come, I will tell you. And it is named after. That's part of the things I'm saying. Now, this son of Willie, because I think he has a daughter and a son, is less than 10 years. And we named a street after the son. How do you explain that? Who is this person? Streets should be named after people because of the things they do. People should merit. Naming a street after somebody is leaving a legacy. Is somebody who has done something maybe to touch mankind or something to touch the society. What has Willie given to Anambra State? Willie was a director working with Fidelity Bank, and Peter Obi co-opted him because Peter Obi does not want anybody to probe him. So that's who he is. He studied at University of Lagos. He got accountancy. He didn't anything special, anything unique to make it being the governor of Anambra State. Nobody knows who Willie Obiano is. He never had a name. No Anambra State, nobody from Anambra State knew any man called Willie Obiano. Not living, not dead, until Peter Obi foisted him on the people of Anambra State. And you remember, after the first tenure, Anambra State had already written him off because people already know that he's a drunkard. Everywhere he go, he would drink. And what did Willie do? This is where the church comes in here. Because you know, when we say these things without calling the name of the church, we are not doing justice. We are not being honest. Now, Willie went and sold Anambra State, went to the church, because everything that happens in Anambra State starts at Onitsha, that Holy Trinity Onitsha. That is where it is decided. When that Archbishop Malaria decides, Anambra has decided. Even Soludo, remember Soludo is Catholic, and then the vice president, the deputy governor, is the direct younger brother of the Archbishop of Anglican Archbishop of Oka. You know that? Is the direct younger brother. You see? So it's still church. You know, the Agbono will say, not them. And he has been like that all along. Nothing has changed. The only thing is that the actions of Soludo is a generational shift, because I've asked consistently, this church, Archdiocese of Onitsha, not Catholic Archdiocese of Onitsha, that force these people or not. Can't you force normal human being or not?
Yes.
Can't you give us people that are accountable? Or do you go back to ask them? I know you share in the loot, because the church share in the loot. I'm going to tell you that at the end of it. The church share in the loot. But can the church be so heartless? The church, have they lost their conscience to the point that they are no longer even interested on what the person they foisted on us, the man they forced on us is due with Anambra State money? Is that have the church degenerated to that point? Because it's only in the east that we see this madness. It's only the southeast. There's no other way in the part of Nigeria to see the kind of madness. Have you ever seen in a place in the whole world where somebody take gun and enter into a church and shot 40 people to death? It happened only in Osobe, it happened only in the southeast, because of the overzealousness of the church. Because church have lost it totally and completely. There's no form of virtue. There's nothing like decency. Madness. The church is almost a garage. You can no longer differentiate the church from the garage boys, the way from lunatics, because every other thing that happens in the secular world happens in the church. Probably this time by some twist of fate, because maybe in a alumni if I look there, no Batazia Soludo, and maybe Soludo this time. I will not see him in the church. Everywhere I go, we sing a Christian song. Who knows? But in the meantime, he's doing fine. Because if we look at Soludo and look at the things he's doing, he has officially announced that he's going to organize local government election. How do you explain that since the civilian administration, there has not been local government election in Anambra State?
A shame.
How do we explain it? And people tell me that the problem is Asorok. People tell me that the problem is Abuja. My friend, is there a place on earth where you know that freedom is free? Freedom has to be fought for.
Please, sir, I wanted us to do an hour because this is weekend, and I have some places I'm going. There are people that attended the convention, our convention today. So I'm just trying to see if I'll go meet them. We'll be wrapping this up in the next 10 minutes. So, sir, I want you to use that 10 minutes now to tell us what you expect to see from Soludo from now to the next before Soludo anyway. What do you think about all these people that are being paid? Because I believe Ebelechukwu Obiano, she knows how to mobilize people with funds. We'll be going to all these places. What advice do you have to give to all these people, especially Anambrarians and the bloggers that will be collecting money to be, defending this rubbish? And what do you expect from Soludo from now to the next 100 years? And what do you think he can do education-wise from now to the next 2 years? Please, the next 10 minutes.
Thank you. Now, before I wrap it up, before I give you this aspect, let me use 1 minute to do this. Now, you see, there's a fact I wanted. I promise that I'm going to discuss here. Let me touch it slightly. Maybe next time we'll discuss in detail. Now, you see, a few days ago, Abysmal in a church declared that if we are to be from APC, we could not have been arrested. Now, I want anybody to go and find out what I'm saying now. First, Abysmal was the person that took Emperor to Willie Obiano. So his
Emperor is Nnamdi Kanu. For those who don't know,
he's the part of the problem we have in Anambra State. Abysmal.
Yes.
Second, his brother is in the House of Assembly in Anambra State. His senior brother. But before I go to Anambra State, I want anybody to go to his town. He has messed his town because he's from Kwelezunaka. He foisted his brother as President General of his town, and everything there was messed up. I want anybody to go and find out. Obiano restated 4 of his younger brothers. I want anybody to go and find out the house that Obiano built for him, and tell me in the whole of Africa whether you see such a house. The house inside was built by Obiano himself. So you see, when he stands to say what he's saying, because these are no longer reverend fathers, they are politicians. Because I've said this and I want to repeat it here. I want to be very clear and emphatic on this. Stop looking at these people as reverend fathers. Because you see, as a Catholic, I know what it means to be a priest. A priest is a priest that was called in the order of Melchizedek. That priest cannot stand in the altar with a cassock and start playing politics, because in that moment he is persona Christi. He is not a priest when he's wearing that cassock. So that place is not a place to conduct political campaign for Willie Obiano. Meanwhile, maybe Abysmal is afraid that EFCC may still come and arrest him. And because he does not want them to come and arrest him, he starts preparing ground by telling us that the APC affair. How can a priest, how can a church support the evil that Willie Obiano perpetrated on Anambra State? How can a church support a governor that raped Anambra State? Because what Willie did is above embezzlement. What Willie did, Anambra State is supposed to be contesting with Abuja, with Lagos, and Abysmal is wearing dress as a priest and is telling us that it's APC. And I want you to come out publicly and say that Willie did not embezzle money. Let him come out and give us a card. Let him come out and say that what Chukwuemeka Charles Soludo said is a lie. That Willie did not keep a debt in Anambra State. Or Willie should not be arrested because Willie is from his party, because Abysmal is from Apuga. Willie is from Apuga. So because Willie is from his party, he should not be arrested. Let him come out and tell us that, forget about what I'm saying now, because the government of Anambra State has officially said that Willie duped Anambra State. So Abysmal should die of shame. He should not. Those people that are going there every Sunday to watch him. I wonder what you are going there to watch him. Somebody who has lost moral decorum to preach to you as a priest. Having said that, because sometimes when I talk about it, I speak in anger, because I cannot comprehend that will be sentimental to the point that we see this evil and will support it. I will go and clap our hands and bind him up. Go to native doctors, separate church from spiritualism. Yeah, if you have a spiritual problem, go and solve your spiritual problem and leave church out of it. Having said that, I want to be very clear and emphatic. Charles has started on a very good note. I want to see in a few days the date for local government election in Anambra State. I want to see there are a few things now I want to say. Let me say this. I'm sorry to say it publicly. When Charles said that he's driving the car of Inosu, Charles read economics, so I know that sometimes economics are static. Innocent does not need Charles to drive his car. If she's driving Innocent car, it's a good thing, it's a client. But there's something I want us to avoid as Igbo people now. Let me be very frank here. Now, Igbo people should have owned the railway, at least the railway line in Nigeria, but we are not owning. We don't own it. I want us to remember we had people like Ekene Dujuku, Tabans Motors, Izuchuku, all of them, all the transporters in Nigeria, they were all Igbos. They were billionaires, but they did not.
FG Onyenwe, the young, Chisco, they remained the same way.
And they went desolate because
no
they did
innovation,
not innovation, no technological advancement. They did not think of tomorrow. So what Innocent needs is not Soludo riding his car. What Innocent needs is a technological advancement, because Innocent needs support. He needs capital. He needs market. He has to grow a market to be able to compete with auto cars in the world. Now let me say something. Toyota, the largest auto parts, has no factory anywhere. He has no warehouse. He uses a system that is called just in time. I did this administration. I'm a member of the Chartered Managers of England and Wales. I can give this consultation free because it pains my heart when I see all these companies that we have named. All of them are no longer existing, simply because of lack of management, simply because they cannot transform. So I wouldn't want these things that happen to all these companies to happen to car company like Innocent, because if he does not transform, if somebody comes up tomorrow, he will use him up and will complain, we will shout. What he needs to do today is to shade the management of that. Look for a senior class manager, look for a first class manager. He may pay him billions, it doesn't matter, but that company has to be transformed. He has to be precise on what he's doing. He cannot produce from tire to bumper to engine. No, every motor manufacturing plant on earth is an assembly plant. Toyota is an assembly plant. He has to share, he has to outsource all the component parts and concentrate on design and assembly. What we had in Kaduna was an assembly plant. Nigeria was importing a CKD price to completely knock down prices. Unfortunately, we did not capitalize on those technology to advance. We died. We had Volkswagen at Ibadan. We did not capitalize. We had Proda. I want us to remember the same year that Mercedes inaugurated Proda at Anambra State, they inaugurated Mercedes assembly plant in Brazil. Now we go to Brazil to buy Marco Polo. Proda is, the Anambra State is dead. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that I want to see Soludo to, if you invite me, I will go. And I'm saying I'm not going to receive any money. I'll do that consultancy free because it's not going to take me a week to turn that place around. For all those other companies, those other market and traders, let him set a bank. There has to be a development bank that has to give loan. Not that the one I shall are indeed. These are the things I want to see, because these are the real way to develop a nation. Now let us recycle plant. The world where I live, that refuse is money. We have no light, we have no water. Today, we can turn those refuse. We can use it to get water, we can use it to get light. We don't need to lack. So there are a few things that he has to do. He has to concentrate, he has to capitalize on to take Anambra State further. He doesn't have to go back. It doesn't have to be business as usual. Let him not do it the way other people did it. Let him not do it the way, people might have done a few good things and do other ones wrongly. But some of those things he did were primitive. That's why we are not moving forward. So those refuse, the dustbin, let's start recycling them because they are money. There are now there is no maintenance culture in Anambra State. I cannot comprehend why there cannot be public toilet. I cannot comprehend why we cannot have light. I expect Charles in a few days to make a law. Every landlord must give them 6 months to create a public toilet. Every landlord give them 6 months to have a street light. This has to be done gradually. Give every landlord 6 months to paint their house, to renovate it. If they don't do it, send people after 6 months to control them. These are a few things we have to do to modernize our place. It does not have to end with education. We have to go back to it. Nigerians are now going to study in South Africa, in Ghana. We have to go back home. We have to invest in education, because education is the future. education, Nigeria, the youth the future belongs to the youth. So these are a few things I want to see Charles consolidating on the ones he has started and expanding on these ones. That way, within a few days, within a few months, within a few years, Bill Clinton did it in 2 years in America. Even if Charles do it in 4 years, one of the greatest I will expect is that his second tenure, he will not use money to buy vote, because we have to be frank about it. Money was used to put him into power. I pray and believe God that by the time Charles is going to be conducting the election in the second tenure, that it will no longer be money exchanging, and that they must have been able to turn to the point that Anambra State will say, or Charles or nothing, that doesn't have to go and share money. This politics of sharing money must stop with Charles Soludo. Thank you for this time.
Thank you, my brother, for your time. Everybody, each and every one of us here is happy. We are grateful, and I don't know if you will be free next Wednesday, because we didn't have enough time. At least if we can do it on Wednesday, I believe that day we can do 2 hours non-stop. We are now into 1 hour and 15 minutes. I thank you for your time. I couldn't have paid you enough to be here, but you are here to offer your knowledge and give it to our people free of charge. I hope those that are listening will pass the information to the appropriate quarters. I know 1 or 2 of them here right now that are listening. Hopefully, they will pass it to them, and they'll pass it along. They will inform our people and educate the leaders on what to do, because most of them, most times, are actually confused and don't know their left from their right. Thank you once again, sir, for being a part of the program.
Thank you.
And I greet you all for being a part of this program, all of you that have joined us. See you later and the next week. Enjoy your Saturday night. Yeah, good night, everyone. Yeah, bye. Yes.